Okay, thanks for taking the time to come down here today to talk about yourself and the characters you play in our little series, Angel and May. We appreciate the time, and I hope you enjoyed doing it.
I do.
So
Much.
Harris, you're originally from Taiwan, so how long have you been in Australia?
So I've been in Australia nearly 7 years already. Yeah, I came here 2013, November.
Cool. So how did you hear about Angel and May? Because you wouldn't normally hear about a little series we're
Yeah.
doing.
Um, I was a student at acting course, and my fellow classmate told me about this program, and she asked me if I'm interested in this show, and I said yes, of course. And I was really excited and enthusiastic, and I really like this character. So I said yes, and also it's Mandarin speaker.
Perfect. Yeah, because we want to try and make the characters interesting, and we wanted people from different ethnicities to sort of make New London a real melting pot. It's a bit like sort of a New York, and so we were really looking for someone has your ethnicity, and you came along, and it was great. We loved having you because you were so enthusiastic, and
Yeah.
and you giggle quite a lot, which is quite funny. So,
I do.
so you play the character of Dr. Chen in the series. So, how do you think of the character?
I think this character is quite smart, and he's very intelligent. Also, he's actually Buddhist, and he's expert of the technology.
So what is his speciality? Does he do? I mean, I think he's a hacker, isn't he? Some sort of hacker.
Yeah, and he's very good at coding, and he's a hacker, white hacker.
Excellent. So, but he's quite unusual in that he identifies as gender fluid. So, how do you think this affects your approach to that particular role?
Um, I actually quite enjoy doing this role because my voice is quite soft, and I think my personality quite suits this character. And I just want to make. I think this character is really interesting.
Yeah, I think we haven't fully exploited that side of his character at all, really, yet. And I'm hoping that in season 3 we've got some ideas about some stories which would involve him in a more intimate role, and also possibly one of the other characters you play, but more about that later. So yeah, I think he is actually a very interesting character that we haven't fully exploited. So we actually don't really know at this stage in the series how he got to be at New London. So maybe if you could just sort of outline your understanding of his background and how he came to be at the Retrograde Inn.
Yes. They. I think he with his parents moved to California from China, and then he was expelled from UCIA because of hacking in 2058, and he joined the FBI in 2065. He sort of had breakdown because he was working too much, and also another reason is because of his sexuality. And he left FBI, moved to New London. He was recruited by Gander in 2071.
So that's that's a good précis, I think. And the series starts in 2075, so he's sort of newly arrived, but he's been there a couple of years, so he's sort of established, but not a real old hand. So when he gets to New London, he obviously seems to be quite settled. I mean, by the time we hear about him in the series, he's sort of living. We don't actually know where he lives in New London. I don't think he lives in the inn, but he's certainly one of the Royal and Cherry Blue Storms operatives. He's actually in that military. So we don't really know much about Chen other than he was basically headhunted by Gander at some point. But he does seem to be quite settled in New London, and we know he had a breakdown. So you'd kind of think, well, maybe he's a bit skittish, or he needs a place to call home, perhaps, and he's away from his family. So how do you see this panning out, and how do you sort of see his role within the series at the time that the series starts?
So he's a sergeant, and he has worked for RCBS for 4 years. And the Gander has asked him to adopt T3 because I think she thinks he needs to love someone, to center his soul.
I mean, that's a side we haven't even heard about, but it's a sort of backstory we've written. That he's adopted this young, child that could have just gone into the RCBS program, but Gander's actually thought that it would benefit everybody if he actually looked after her. So that's what I see. But we haven't really sort of figured that out yet. So that's something we're working on.
And also, he has a PhD that I don't have. I mean, Dr. Chen.
Yeah, he's a technical expert, isn't he? So. Now, you also, Harris, you also play another character who's very different. This character is called Candy.
Yeah.
So can you describe her?
So Candy, she's a drag queen, and she works at Retrograde. She is loud, she's difficult to manage, and she has very strong, she is very strong on gay rights. She is a really good performer.
Yes.
Which I love, and I am.
So, yeah, it suits your personality, doesn't it, really?
Yes, she does.
Yes. And
I love playing her.
Yes. Although we did have quite a lot of fun going through doing the shading because you didn't really know the English, so we had to practice that. That was quite fun.
Yeah, shady. Library's open.
Okay, so going forward, we've got a new season coming up in season 3. We're just finishing season 2. So, I mean, how do you think you want to develop the characters in the upcoming season?
So, I want it to be more passionate, and also have a more strong emotional story, like emotional roles, and also there's more interesting stories, like situations.
So that's so you can demonstrate your acting sort of ability, if you like.
Yes.
And you're obviously practicing your English language.
Also, practicing my English too.
So English is your second language, and you're relatively recently arrived in Australia. So it's some of the techno speak in this sci-fi series is it'd be challenging for anybody really. So it must be particularly difficult for yourself. So how have you managed to cope with that?
I have to say, those terms are killing me. They're really difficult. So I had to practice beforehand. But it has expanded my vocabulary, really. I think my English is getting better because of those.
I think it is. I think it is. Yes. Although I keep finding ways to write more difficult words that you don't know.
Yeah. But also my director, she helps me a lot. Yeah.
Thank you. Very patient.
Yeah, she's very patient.
So you've been in the series from about episode 5 onwards, which is quite some time ago now. So what is your favourite episode of that you've actually been in?
My favorite episode is in, I think, season 1, episode 7, The Red Eye of Jupiter, about the princess, the romance with Zed.
Okay, you're a bit of a romantic on the quiet, aren't you?
I think the story is really interesting. I really like that story.
So what's your second favourite episode then?
My second favourite episode, of course, is the season 1, episode 12, Two Turtle Doves, the Candy that I performed in. Because the Candy is really shady, I love her shady with another character. That's really fun.
Yeah, we
to
had
play.
a lot of fun recording
Yeah.
that, didn't we? That was a good episode. Well, thank you very much for your time, and I hope it wasn't too stressful to have a video interview.
Oh,
Yeah, so thank you very much.
thank you for having me.